Did you manage to get the slide?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. Yep. So yeah, you're gonna be receiving these slides time after time. So just keep that in mind. And then let's get started with writing. I know with writing you wanted to see a little bit more of. So I wanted to instruct you a little bit on what is to be expected on the TOEFL, especially some key skills, writing skills that would be expected of you. So, what to know? So, there's going to be top 10 writing skills and techniques for the TOEFL that I recommend you knowing, which is one, paraphrasing and summarizing, which is basically rewording ideas from the reader or listening passage while keeping the meaning intact. So, example, instead of saying the workers were slaves, you can say the laborers were likely skilled workers rather than enslaved individuals. So that could be um, paraphrasing and then also summarizing a point. Another skill that is very important to have is a clear thesis statement. So a clear state your main argument or purpose in the first paragraph. So for example, this is an example of a thesis statement. The lecture challenges the reading by providing evidence that the pyramid workers were skilled laborers, not slaves. Number three, we want strong topic sentences. So in your body paragraph, right, you are going to go deeper on the main idea, which is your thesis statement. So with beginning your each body paragraph that you provide, you're going to add something that would be related. So for example, recent archaeological discoveries suggest that the pyramids builders lived in organized villages rather than being mistreated slaves. So again, that is something of how we can begin a topic sentence, right? Discussing about archaeological discoveries in your body paragraph. And we're clear about it. Number four, logical organization and structure. So we need to make sure structuring is very important. Introduction, body paragraph, and conclusion format. And we need proper transitions. So, Kevin, did you get a chance to take a look at Manchester Phrasebook a little bit more?
Yes, and I see the conclusions.
Awesome. So,
But
yeah,
I didn't like read bare detail.
you didn't go in detail, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's no
yes.
problem. That's okay. This is good. This point is good in relation to Manchester Phrasebook because proper transitions means that you're going from one body paragraph to another body paragraph. So you can say first, second, finally, and in conclusion in the beginning of each body paragraph. Now, those are not the only ones you can use, of course. There's many more. And Manchester Phrasebook provides you of different ways of how to give those transitions. All right. So whenever you get the chance on your own time, explore that website little by little. Number five, effective use of transitions, of course. So when you want to add ideas, you would use language like furthermore or additionally. When you want to say contrasting ideas, you would say however or on the other hand. And then, of course, when you want to conclude something, you would say thus, therefore, or in summary. Again, these are just basic transition words. More advanced ones is what you'll find in Manchester Phrasebook. Number six, developing and supporting arguments, providing clear explanations and relevant details for each point. Example. So, for example, instead of the workers were not slave, you can say archaeologists found evidence of workers' villages with high quality food, suggesting they were well cared for. So we have a supported argument because we're saying that archaeologists found evidence, right? They found what they needed to do, and it's factual and it's supported. So these are good arguments. Not workers were not slaves. That's a, sure you can say that, but then you would have to give further evidence, further support to your argument. Finally, we have the last four, grammar and sentence variety. Of course, we're practicing grammar. So just avoiding repetitive sentence structures. The workers were skilled, they were not slaves. That's simple. But how we can make this better is the workers were skilled rather than enslaved, as shown by evidence of proper housing and food supplies. Of course, vocabulary is another thing that we're practicing as well. So that is something to keep in mind. Avoiding personal opinions. So I shouldn't see anything about I think. The professor makes a good point. The right way to say it is the professor contradicts the reading by stating the Greek historians were unreliable. And then, of course, time management and proofreading. You should always give yourself enough time, like at least 2 to 3 minutes to revise your work. So being smart with your timing is very, very important. All right. Any questions so far, Kevin?
Oh, no questions.
All right. So let's go on to the first point. We're going to dive in deep in each point here. So this is paraphrasing. Are you familiar with what paraphrasing is, Kevin?
Yeah, like just mention a thing, just in another way.
Exactly, yes. So we have different ways to approach what paraphrasing does. We use different grammatical forms and this is called nominalization. So, for example, the workers built the pyramids. How will we paraphrase that? We convert the verbs to nouns or vice versa. So, instead of saying the workers built the pyramids, we're saying the construction of the pyramids was carried out by the workers. Mhm. Or then we can combine or split sentences. So, the workers lived in villages, period. They had access to food and proper tools, period. We would paraphrase that by saying the workers resided in villages where they were provided with food and tools. Another way of paraphrasing is using synonyms of keywords, which we are learning. Change sentence structure. So rephrasing or breaking sentence into smaller parts. So for example, the professor claims that the workers were honored with proper burials. You can say, according to the professor, comma, the laborers received respectful burials. And then of course, active to passive or passive to active voice. So in active voice, we would say archaeologists discovered evidence of bakeries in the workers' village. We can paraphrase it to passive, saying evidence of bakeries was discovered in the workers' villages by archaeologists. Now, personally, for me, I would recommend you get into the habit of always writing an active voice. Okay. Any questions so far, Kevin?
No.
All right. So, some ideas. These are some examples that you can see here. Historians argue the pyramids were constructed using slave labor, and then we would paraphrase it to some historians claim that enslaved workers built the pyramids. Since you're familiar with paraphrasing, I won't dive in too much into this furthermore. And then summarizing, again, it's focusing on the main points. When we're summarizing, we're taking something that's very long and have a lot of unnecessary details and making it very short. And here would be an example of this. The workers were well fed and lived in organized villages. They had access to bakeries, tools, and proper housing. Um, Archaeologists found no evidence of mistreatment or mass graves. So to summarize that, we would say workers were well treated with access to food, tools, and housing. Now, summarizing is very important, especially in academic writing, because we want supporting evidence, but we don't want to explain everything from what we're sourcing. So keeping it short is essential in academic writing. All right. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So, we're going to do a little reading practice. So this is a transcript, which is basically a kind of script of like what the lecture is all about. So we're going to be reading a lecture and the professor and what they said. And then this is like a reading passage that's related to the lecture transcript. All right. So we're going to read this and then answer a writing prompt. Now, let me share that prompt into the chat so you have it with you. So when you do this activity, can still look at this slide here. So, all right. So, what your task is, Kevin, is that you're going to summarize the points of the lecture and explain how they challenge the claims made in the reading passage. And then so this is the guidelines of what I'm expecting you to do to get a high score. Um, Theoretically a high score in the TOEFL. So what they would look for is, of course, at least 250 words. You need to be using um, formal language, academic language, right? Nothing of opinions. Basically, what we just talked about right now, Kevin, do exactly that. Now, of course, structure is very important. We want intro, body, and conclusion. And then we want clear examples, clear support on how the lecture contradicts the reading. And of course, avoid personal opinions. So let me share the screen and then I am going to have you read this. You can read it on your own, Kevin, and then submit your response into the chat when you are done. I'm going to give you 10 minutes and then we will take it up together. Do you have any questions about this task at all, Kevin?
No, can I go to the bathroom like real quick?
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Just let me know when you're back and then I'll get that 10 minutes started.
Okay. Okay, I'm back.
Awesome. So let's get you started. 10 minutes. If you have any questions, Kevin, regarding anything that you need further clarification on, please let me know. But yeah, you may get started and then submit your response into the chat when you are done. All right.
Okay.
So, Kevin, you have 1 more minute. Would you like some extra time, or?
Yeah, can I have some extra time?
Yeah, that's no problem. So what we could do here is I'll give you an extra 5 minutes, all right? But and then we'll take up whatever you have finished, all right? But a maximum 5 minutes left, all right?
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, Kevin, time is up. Please submit what you have. It's okay if you're not completely finished, but I just do want to see how we're doing so far. Remember that this is just this is just us to practicing, right? So time management, very important. So little by little we'll get there. So just tell me what you have. It's okay if you're not completely finished.
Okay.
Mhm. All right, so I'm just gonna open it into a document for us to edit on, and then yeah, go from there. So you said in the lecture and reading passage, um, so here we'll say in the reading passage, or we should say the reading passage. So the reading passage proposed the idea that the Great Pyramid of Giza was built by slaves. However, in the lecture, the professor challenged this idea by illustrating new archaeological evidence on the treatment of workers after death and questioning reliability of historic sources. I would actually split this sentence up and say, um, focuses on the treatment of workers, and then archaeological needs to be spelled differently. Focuses on the treatment of worker after death and questioning reliability of historic sources. Or actually, instead of focuses, we would say the professor challenge specifically on the treatment of workers after death and etc. Firstly, the reading passage use a vast size and complexity. A vast size of what, Kevin?
Vast size of the pyramids.
Or instead of saying vast size, well, I think I know what you're trying to say. A vast findings and the complexity of the pyramids as evidence of slave laborers, but it was contradicting to newer actually use vast findings. Oh, I see what you're trying to say here. Okay. Um, I would just take this out in general. No need to say vast size. So you can just say first of the reading passage, use the complexity of the building of the pyramids. Or on the building of the pyramids. Or actually use of the complexity of the pyramid structure. Sorry, Kevin, just bear with me. I'm just uh, as evidence of slavery labors. Okay, but it was contradicting to numerous discoveries which show laborers living well and living well. And in organized communities. It is it is evident, or we can say there are um findings that conclude workers' burial sites were are were respected, contrasting to the idea of slavery. Secondly, as the reading, so the reading passage use accounts. I will take out the second one. Uses accounts by Greek historians, which was contradicting the lecture. Awesome. Okay, so Kevin, the biggest thing we definitely need to practice more on is article usage. When to use the, and um also just yeah, the article usage I think is a big thing that I would want to focus on the next class. Um and I'm gonna do a whole lesson plan on that because with a lot of the sentences that you built, Kevin, they're actually very well done. And I'm not being nice about it. It's very true. The way you phrase your sentences and the way that you're providing evidence is well done. And you already took into account what I have taught you just today, which is the firstly, the secondly, and I don't see any opinions. I see formal language being used. So you're already at a great start. I think one thing that we need to now focus on is just when to use specific articles and how to use them. All right. So that's the feedback
Okay.
I have for you, Kevin. Any questions?
No.
No? Okay. So yes, that will be the next focus for next class on article usage. So let's move on. So this is an example essay, Kevin, that you can check out on your own time, only because due to time, I want to make sure that we get everything done. You'll receive the slide. You'll be able to take a look at the example essay of how we would write this writing prompt. Okay. So we'll do listening last. What we're gonna do is some reading. Yes. Okay. So, can you please read this passage on the Mayan civilization on the left here out loud?
Okay.
Mhm,
Um, the Maya civilization, one of the most advanced pre-Columbian societies, thrived in present-day Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, uh, and Honduras.
mhm.
At its peak between 250 and 900 CE, the Maya developed sophisticated writing, mathematical systems, and astronomical knowledge that rivaled contemporary civilizations. However, despite astronomical knowledge, no, despite their impressive achievements, the civilization experienced a mysterious decline, leaving scholars puzzled for centuries. One of the most remarkable aspects of Maya society was its writing system, which consisted of elaborate glyphs representing words and syllables. These scripts, carved onto stele, pottery, and codices, preserved historical records, including the ruins of rulers and important religious ceremonies. Additionally, the Maya excelled in mathematics, uh, inventing the concept of zero independently of other cultures. Their advanced calendar, based on precise astronomical observations, allowed them to predict celestial events with astonishing accuracy. Despite these intellectual accomplishments, the sudden collapse of Maya remains an enigma. Some historians attribute to its prolonged droughts that led to agricultural failure, uh, while others suggest internal warfare and political instability played a significant role. There's also evidence of overpopulation and resource depletion, which may exacerbate existing environmental and social pressures. Ultimately, the reason for civilization's downfall was likely multifaceted rather than the result of a single cause. Today, the legacy of Maya endures in the wait, descendants of the ancient civilization who still inhabits part of Central America. Archaeological discoveries continue to shed light on their culture, but many of their secrets remain hidden beneath dense jungles. The mystery of their decline serves as a cautionary tale about the fragility of even the most advanced societies.
Great. Thank you so much, Kevin. Do you have any questions regarding any vocabulary or need any clarification on certain parts?
No.
Nope. All right. So, here I have some multiple choice questions. There's gonna be, I believe, yes, there's two slides of multiple choice questions. So please, let's do this slide first, and then when we're done, we'll move on to the next. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. 5 minutes
Okay.
starting now. All right, let's move on to the next one. So same idea, please submit the multiple choice answers. Um, and then we'll move on to taking it up. All right, so let's take a look. So B, C, A, C, B, awesome job. And then for the last five, um, B, A, B, C, A. So the first one on the second. So what does the word elaborate in paragraph two most likely mean? It means detailed and complex. Any questions about that, Kevin?
No question. I think I know the word, but I accidentally chose C.
Oh, okay, perfect. So let's move on to a writing prompt. We're going to practice our writing again. So here, the passage discusses, of course, the rise and fall of the Maya civilization, right? So some historians believe that environmental factors were the primary cause of their decline, while other argues that it was internal conflicts that played a bigger role. So although this is your opinion, it should still be a formal paper. So meaning that I shouldn't be seeing any first person. So, but you're gonna build a stance, right? Which factor do you believe? Is it environmental changes or internal conflicts? Had a bigger impact on the decline of the Maya civilization. So you're going to use specific reasons and examples to support your answers. So you can do a little bit of research, but I think majority of what you should have here should have is in the passage in itself already. Now, I do would like to see a good amount. So I want to see an intro, body, and conclusion. So around 300 words. And of course, you want to use evidence from the passage, right? As it's this writing prompt is related to the passage. But it doesn't mean you're not allowed to do a little extra research if you like. Any questions about this task?
No.
All right. So I'm going to give you 10 minutes to start, and then we'll see how you are with time after the 10 minutes, all right? You may get started. So Kevin, you have 1 more minute left of the 10 minutes. Do you need a little extra time?
I think I can submit
Okay,
now.
sounds good. All right, let's take a look. Just gonna move on to the document for us to edit it on. Okay. So you said looking between the causes of Mayan civilizations or we can say the causes of the decline in Mayan civilizations. Environmental changes um, is a major factor final that significantly led to the end of this prosperous civilization. Mhm. And then you said, firstly, as environmental issues such as soil depletion and droughts appear, it is a devastation. So this needs to be spelled correctly. Uh, for an agriculture-based society. Famines and disease will be unmanageable since citizens lose immunity and energy. In other perspectives, large demographic growth of Mayan civilization lead to more resources needed, inevitably causing Mayans to conquer and fight for new lands or territories. In conclusion, the decline of Mayan civilization uh, was caused by environmental factors, damaging. And the reason why I'm taking out definitely, Kevin, is because it's not necessarily needed and it makes it a little informal. So we'll just avoid that by just taking it out. Damaging of lands and resources and large population growth, all driven. So we're gonna split the sentence up and start saying damaging of lands and resources, large population growth, all drove Mayans into a worse situation, contributing to the downfall of this prosperous civilization. Awesome. So again, same thing, Kevin. You did a great job giving the formal points. You gave great examples on, what might have contributed environmentally, like the disease, famines, and the growth of demography. Now, again, the biggest thing I would want us to focus on is article usage again, which we'll do, and this time tense. Tense is very important. So we just need to consider when do we use past tense, when do we use present tense, which we will also focus on as well. Any questions?
No.
Okay, so let's move on to some vocabulary. And then I also have an example of how this essay should be looking if you want perfect score on the TOEFL scale. Okay, so here is some vocabulary. Can you please read all the vocabulary with the definition and synonyms? Starting with ancient.
I just read the word and the synonym, right?
Yep.
Okay. Ancient. Something from a long time ago, very old, and synonym is old.
Mhm.
Okay, and annoying. Of slight bother, disturbing to a person, and synonym is bothersome. Anticipate. To think about or prepare for something ahead of time. Predict. Ascertain. To discover, find out, and synonym is determine. Benign. Doing no harm or damage. Gentle. Harmless. Conform. To allow established rules or patterns of behavior, and synonyms adapt. Enrich, to make rich, to make something of greater value, and enhance. Intensify, to make stronger in feeling or quality, and heighten. Intolerable, difficult or painful to experience, not able to accept different ways of thought or behavior. Unbearable, ongoing, continuing, and synonym is current.
Awesome. Um, Take this time, read over the vocabulary and the adjectives, and then we're going to move on to the next list because we're going to be doing some multiple choice. So try your best to memorize as much as you can. And when you feel ready, just say ready, and then we'll move on. But maximum I'll give you is maybe 7 minutes.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. So, this is the next words before we move on to the multiple choice. So, can you please read the vocab that you see here?
Uh, Potential, an ability happening or opportunity that has not occurred or being developed. And synonym is possi possibility. Propose, to suggest or plan to do something. And suggest. Restore, to give back or bring back something. To return to the original condition. Revitalize. Turbulent, to be in a disordered, disturbed, or unstable condition. Chaotic. Vital, of great importance. Full of life. Indispensable. Alter, to change or make different. Modify. Analyze, to study something carefully, to separate into parts for study. Examine.
Awesome. So take this time, just read over the words that you're not too familiar with, memorize what you can, and then we're going to move on to the multiple choice. So I'll give you maybe 4 to 5 minutes.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Awesome. Okay. So please match each word with its appropriate synonym, and then we'll take it up together, and then submit your responses into the chat. I'll give you around maybe 5 minutes. Awesome. All right, let's take it up. So here, for number one, indispensable, you said C, which is vital. That is, let's take it back. And then indispensable. Oh well, isn't are these different words? Oh well. Yeah, well, indispensable, vital. That is correct. Restore, you said B. Revitalize, that is correct. To conform, you said D. Adapt, that is correct. Turbulent, you said A. That is correct. Chaotic. Um, a certain number five, excuse me, you said C. Determine. Um, yeah. Potential, you said B. Yes, B. You said B. Attraction. Yes, possibility. Awesome. Seven, benign. Uh, you said A, harmless. That is correct. Now, it could also be B, weak, but harmless would be a stronger, harmless would be a stronger term here. Enrich, you said D, enhance. Great. Nine, you said C, unbearable. That is correct. And then 10, proposal, you said D, suggestion. Awesome. That is correct. Great job, Kevin. So here, what we'll do is now we'll skip this. Let's do some grammar. So if you please can choose the correct answer for each sentence. This is just basically choosing what would be best in terms of which of the multiple choice would make a proper, correct grammar and sentence for each question. So please do numbers 1 through 5, and then we'll move on and take it up. If you have any questions, Kevin, let me know.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, so please complete these last ones and then we'll take it up together. Oh, sorry, Kevin, I didn't notice that you submitted the last five questions. All right, so let's take a look together. So, Kevin, can here it is B, C. So it's had studied. This is a third conditional sentence. So if you whenever you have if, past perfect, which is would have, and a past participle. So it expresses a hypothetical past event. Three
Uh,
is A, which is correct. Four is B, have I, which is a inverted structure after negative adverb. So like rarely or never, it requires an auxiliary verb. So have I instead of I have. Five is B, have started. Um, that's good. The A, six is A, awesome. Seven is A, which is. So neither is singular, so the verb should be the singular is. Eight is C, which is come. So after verbs like insist in a subjunctive mood, we would use the base form of the verb come. Okay. Nine is B, was written. The book is the receiver of the action, so passive voice is going to be needed. And then 10 is B, is she. Not only at the beginning of a sentence, requires inversion. Mhm. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yep.
What is the difference between like has studied or had studied?
So has studied. So has studied, um, we would have to look at tenses first, right? So look at has versus had. So has studied is present, right?
Yes.
And so it's a present perfect tense. So although he studied is in the past, right? Studied is in the past, it's a lifetime experience. So it's relevant to the present. So for example, he has studied engineering. He's always going to be an engineer now, right?
Yes.
So had studied, right, is past perfect. So it happened one uh once in the past, but it's not relevant to the present.
Okay.
Mhm. Any questions? Further questions?
No.
Okay. So we're gonna have to stop here, but I have, if you want to continue with the vocabulary, there's some more questions here for you to do if you like. And then you can always practice them using the words in a written statement if you like. I'll leave it there for your use. And then of course, all this information is here for you to go over. And please take the time to look at the example essays. The easiest way to learn any kind of English or any language in general is just looking at examples, right? Reading a perfect essay is going to help you feel inspired of how to structure your sentences in the future. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing here. Any questions regarding today's session?
No questions.
All right, then I'll see you next class. Bye, Kevin.
Bye.